Hey besties, let's throw some shade, honey. You ready to get into it? Meredith, you know the Salt Lakes, they get tens. And I say that because whatever happened tonight, they are redefining reality TV. You know, reality TV has gotten away from their real lives, showing their real lives. You know, you have to put the reality in a reality show. You know, they have been playing in our faces, thinking we're stupid, coming up with these sorry storylines, you know, buying and paying for dates and boyfriends and not, you know, renting homes and acting, oh, just all the lying, right? But they are trying to get it back. Salt Lake City may save reality TV. Other shows take notes, okay? Besties, you know what to do. I don't ask for money, but what I do ask is for your thumb, your index finger to touch that like on this video. Like, subscribe, notification. Comment, like, subscribe, notification. Those are my keywords. Okay? So let's get into it. Now, first of all, I have to address this. Mary, her confessional, when they go to her part, and you know, it's her picture by herself. What does she have on? Oh my gosh, not the dress, past the dress. I have a big issue with what's going on down there. Now, this woman dressed to the gods, to the tens, she is dipped and dripped in all the fashions. And not like she's always cute, but she'd be overdoing it. But the white dress, okay. Are those tights? White tights? Oh no, Mary, where are your pantyhose? And the shoes, beautiful color, the hot pink fuchsia, but they're open toe heels. So you see the tights at the toe, and then it's just a fuchsia number going on with all that white. What is happening, Mary? Okay, I had to get that off my chest. Okay, y'all. So the episode picks up from last week. So Angie, tell us, how many salons do you own? Because you were lying. You said you own 10, and we getting one more, and we getting one more. So do you own three or do you own 10? Because now you're saying three. But she's saying, but we franchised, honey, and I'm proud of that. What I'm doing for myself. And you, small fry, Lisa says it was nasty that Angie compared her to Jen Shaw. Hey, check this out, y'all. We're not going back there. I don't want to hear about Jen Shaw. Okay? That lady, let that lady do her time. Let her do her time. We don't need her for no storylines. We don't need that. Let's move it along, okay? Angie says she apologized for the analogy. It was bad. She asked for y'all. She took it back, so let it go. Um, and this is episode 4. We've mentioned her in every episode so far, so let's not do that next week. So Angie was like, you lie and you throw crap out there just to insult me. And I'm like, she does. She described Lisa to a T. She will lie and will throw stuff, see if it lands just to insult you. She will. So she says all the ladies are tired of Lisa's tactics. You know, all she gonna do is lie, deflect, and then target someone else with the stuff. Which, you know, it's like, oh, and let's not forget, she gonna holler about it. Well, Lisa said she didn't lie, and Angie took it as, she said, Angie, you took it as an insult. I didn't put it out there as such. Um, okay, Lisa. So what did you do? If you didn't lie, wasn't trying to insult someone, you wasn't complimenting her, you wasn't supporting her, you weren't encouraging her. So what were you doing? Angie then asked Lisa, why isn't she promoting her son's line, you know, Fresh Wolf? Angie said, I'm selling it on my shelves. Why are you not doing anything about it? You're not marketing his stuff. Lisa is too busy trying to promote Kerastase instead of her own son's hair care line. Angie says she's been in partnership with the Kerastase for almost 30 years. Lisa says, honey, they love my pretty shiny hair. What you talking about? And it's like, well, Fresh Wolf is your son's line. She said, oh, yeah, well, it's a luxury men's grooming line. And Angie says, no, it's a C-list line and it belongs in Walmart. I said, woo, 2 for Angie, 0 for Lisa. And Lisa just goes for the jug. You're just a very jealous human being. Of course, she's hollering. And Angie said, no, Bea, you are. What do y'all think about Angie? Let me know. Do y'all think she's jealous of Lisa? Or do you think Lisa is jealous of Angie? Let me know. And so Angie is like, you know what? This friendship is at a point of no return. We are very low here, ma'am. So Heather stops them dead in their tracks. She was tired of back and forth and back again. She checks both of their attitudes and tells Lisa, you're fearless and strong when you are on someone's side. You're invincible. But when you are against someone, you are completely, you're not, they said she's completely vulnerable, but I think she meant to say you're not vulnerable. So Mary says, yeah, you don't show any vulnerability at all. You don't. And she really liked the you do French fries, I do franchises line. She really liked that. Well, here go Lisa. And I thought we was getting ready to hear a whole story. Well, I grew up differently, so it looks differently to you guys. I'm like, okay. So she says, I'm going to show my vulnerable side, right now. Here I go. So y'all ready? Here goes my vulnerability. Angie, I love you. What? I thought we were in a good place until I heard all this chitter chatter on that camping trip. And here we are, honey. So Angie, she's like, I apologize too. Lisa accepts. Okay, Angie. And Angie expresses her love for Lisa. Cool. Lisa tells Heather that she loves her too. She said, because you make us thrive. You hold us accountable. You tell me when I'm wrong and you make me thrive. And who doesn't want to be with friends that don't thrive? To Browen, just because I say I don't like you, I do. Lisa, what? No, you don't. So Braun was like, okay, cool. Just stop talking about me. Okay. She says, I hurt you. You hurt me. Let's acknowledge it. And then we can move on. Okay. Okay. Here go Lisa. Well, cheers to friends who love hard and hurt hard. I love you even when I'm mad at you. What in the what is happening? No, thank you, Lisa. I don't want a friend like you. So Mary explains to Heather that she doesn't drink tequila. This is the next day. Heather got a hangover, child. She's been drinking everybody's tequila. So I was like, well, Pastor Mary, I hope you ain't drinking tequila, honey. We see you sipping on wine, and let it stop there, Elder Mary, Pastor Cosby. She said, I just take medicine. And, it tastes like hospital. Child, y'all remember when she told Jen Shaw season 1 that she smells like hospital. And her house smells like hospital, or she smells like it, and that's why she can't come over to her house. Child, that was hilarious. And so Heather's like, okay, so hospital is a smell and a taste. Because medicine tastes like hospital a little bit. And so Mary says, yeah, all smells have a taste. You know how, like, if you pass gas, you can taste it if your mouth is open. Heather's looking like, huh? So what? What verse is that in, Pastor Cosby? So Mary's like, never mind. So Whitney is at the house with Justin, honey. She trying to get back to the old Whitney. Honey, they are installing another pole in the house. Not a well, the pole they had is gone, so they're putting a pole in. It's been 5 years since Whitney been swinging from the pole, and she liked the attention she was getting. Something about losing her businesses, honey, was a sign from the universe for her to get back on course. I'm like, and what are you gonna do with this poll and get on course and do what, sweetie? Are you gonna get you an only if fans page? What are you planning on doing? What are you doing? You gonna teach classes? What are we doing? Like, huh? And I'm starting to like Whitney and her red hair. Even though in her confessional tonight she's back to blonde, short. I didn't like it. I liked her hair styles better last season. But I'm beginning, the red is looking good. I'm getting used to it. 4 episodes and I like it. Yes, besties, drink your water. You heard me. It's hot, child. So Bronwyn and Lisa meet up alone because Lisa figures that this is the only way that they will be able to work out their differences because there's some history between them. Lisa just got in the business. That's all. Got his other people business and running with half truths, and it's just you can't just no, Lisa, no. Brahman gonna get her together though. Brahman said, she said things on purpose to hurt Lisa, and she said some hurtful things that she didn't mean to hurt Lisa with. So she's apologizing for that. Lisa says she didn't realize how hurtful it would be, to go back. I said, wait a minute, you didn't know how you would hurt Brahman by taking information back to Gwen's grandparents? Remember, Lisa is good friends with Gwen's grandparents who they don't even know because they, reject Gwen. So you were gossiping about Brahman's personal life to Gwen's family, and you didn't realize how hurtful that would be. What is wrong with you, Lisa? You were beginning to tell us that you were raised differently. Can you go into that? We need context because you just seem so heartless and just empty. Like to me, Lisa just she just empty. Like we saw she has a sister, but she just doesn't seem like a girl's girl. She don't. Nope. Okay, so Lisa apologizes for being a never mind, I'm not going to call her a name. Lisa apologizes. Bronwyn accepts. Bronwyn wants to be overly clear about where she stands with Gwen's family. She's like, don't talk like, thank you for trying to go to them and speak up for me. The family didn't budge. Again, they haven't budged, and I think Gwen is 20 now. So she's like, thank you for that, but leave that alone. Let it go, okay? They don't have a relationship with those people. You do, Lisa. That's it. That's all. We good. Broward is ready to be accountable for anything that she has done. Lisa is too. And then Lisa's like, I just don't talk about my husband. John is my everything. John is my everything. And I can't hear anything bad about him. Brown says, yeah, well, me saying that maybe John is stressed is not the same as what you said about me sucking my husband's peen for clothes. It's not the same thing. You called me a whore. I didn't call you that. I would never call you that. Well, you alluded to it, and didn't she? You did. Let me rewind the tape, okay? So Brahman says, I don't want to pick apart everything that you've done. I've apologized for hurting you and hurting you on purpose and not on purpose. Lisa's like, well, thank you. I'm sorry too. And then they agreed that husbands are off limits and so are kids. Brahman is like, I ain't talked about your kids, but I hope your son is going to come back from the mission and be well. She was like, oh, yeah, he'll be back in less than 2 months. Isn't his name Jack? I don't remember. The husband's name John, somebody's name is Jack, and another son name is something else. I don't remember. So then what I just, Brahman just spills all her guts out to Lisa. You know, she told her how Gwen graduated from high school, but she's staying home. She didn't say that she was home with a boyfriend. She left that part out. Uh-huh. So then she talked about how her mother lives there too. And so Lisa's like, oh, you have a full house. Girl, okay. And so Brandon, oh, child, who? Bronwyn starts talking about the relationship that her and her mom have and just how it's just too much. And just her mom is very judgy and very Mormon. Okay. And so I'm like, oh, no, Bronwyn, you're telling Lisa too much too fast. Lisa would have to earn my trust. I would be side eyeing Lisa for the rest of my life. Like, I think I would keep my conversations with Lisa on the surface. We could talk about plans for the weekend, surface level. Don't go in too deep. Don't give up too much information. I would be very cautious around Lisa. We could talk about, you know, since she loves talking about these actresses and actors and everybody she knows in Hollywood, we could just talk about Hollywood gossip, recipes, clothes, what to cook, just something else, just stuff, TV shows, you know. So, child, Meredith is at her shop with her husband and her daughter. She wants to renovate because she wants to bring a speakeasy into her boutique. She said, I'm just going to have the jewelry up in the front. And I think this is going to be like a caviar bar. Like her caviar is taken off, honey. So kudos to you, Meredith. So then Mary, we see Mary and her cousin Joe. Hey, cousin Joe. They go look at her church. The church has been closed for 2 years. She had hired cousin Joe to renovate her church, and it has taken him forever because he's family. He's taking his time. Haven't we seen cousin? Hasn't he come to the house to do stuff and she wasn't really happy with his timelines? I think we've seen cousin Joe. So they sit down. Child, it is a long nail coming out of the back of the pew. And she's like, how did you not see this? He's like, oh, you got a good eye. Bruh, who put that there? Do you know you could really hurt somebody? What if somebody sat there and just sat back and just got poked and bleeding and oh gosh. Okay, so enough about that. So cousin asked about Robert Jr. And so Mary's like, well, you know, we're closer now. Yep, we're doing good. He's doing good, you know, and now that I'm fully aware what's going on with him, you know, sometimes it's scary, you know, because I know when he's falling off. So, oh boy, he's struggling. But he only went to treatment for like 30 days. So, you know, that's not enough. I believe Robert Jr. needs something to do. Like I've said before, he needs something to do. Now that church is open, boy, get to work. Clean up, get that nail out, check all the pews to make sure no nails sticking out of them. You know, play the drums, teach Sunday school, collect the offering, be a deacon, help the pastor baptize the youth. I don't know. Sell world's finest chocolate candy at the mall. Witness. What else? It's so much to do. Be on the hospitality committee. Be on be in the choir. Can Robert Jr. sing? Be a praise dancer. You could work in the parking lot. Be a guard. There is so much to do, child. But he needs something to do. He needs school. He needs work. He needs new friends. He needs a purpose in his life. The coddling, he grown. No, he's not. He needs strong, tough love. He need to go over there with Bronwyn's mother. No, that might put him out. No, that might make him fall off hard. But yeah, we need tough love, not the you got this, we're not gonna baby you. Yeah, he needs the baby and he needs it. So, honey, Mary opens up, honey. We have been waiting for this. You hear me? So, enough about Robert Jr. Oh, wait. Cousin Joe says, oh, okay. Well, Rob, he's very tough. He's strong and he's really smart. And Mary, yeah, he is smart. Huh? Oh, yeah, he's smart. He is very smart. Well, put him smart butt to work. So then they talk about the family drama, child. So she was just saying how church would help Robert Jr., just like how it helped her. She remembers when her grandma called her and asked her to come back to church and get saved. And Mary was like, okay. Yeah, finish telling us what else grandma said. And she said, I'll pay you to come to church. I will pay you $5,000 a week if you join my church and get saved and get it together. It had to be some kind of incentive. And I would like to know what Mary was doing before church. What were you doing when your grandma called you? Well, she refers to her grandmother as Mama, if you guys didn't know that. That's who she's talking about. So grandma was very clear to Mary about what she wanted. Y'all know, if you've been a fan since day one, grandma owned the church. She was a pastor. She owned 5 homes in 5 different states, and she owned some other stuff. I don't even remember what the businesses were, but she was like, I'm finna give this all to you. Not your mother. And what you have to do is you have to marry my husband to keep the fortune and the wealth at the top and not let it trickle down. So she was like, okay, but she said something about like Robert Sr. wasn't really like pressed for nothing. He was just like, okay, over here, okay. I think all he just wanted was, never mind, because they do have a kid, so he wanted something. So Mary's mom, her real mother, felt some kind of way about all this because she felt like she should get everything because she's the next kin, right? She's the next heir. And so mom's, honey, she got bold. She was gonna come take things from Mary. She got her a crew. They went to church. They was trying to take over the choir, this, that, and a half. Child, they had to call the police on moms. And they escorted her and her crew out of the church when they thought they didn't have to go anywhere. And so the police even asked Mary, like, what you want? They was like, they gotta go. So her mom walked out of her life, didn't want to talk to her. And Mary said, and that's how we left it. She didn't want to talk, and I left it just like that. But moms, so they stopped talking. And then I guess when she got on the reality show, mom spreaded all these rumors and lies and went to the press talking about her, Robert Sr., and how he was a victim or she was a victim, just victim shaming, both of them, right? So we learned that her mother passed away a few months ago. And so Mary's tearing up and she's just left feeling hurt. And I was like, wow, this is a real moment that we're having. Like, this is reality. How much did they pay Mary, to come back on this show? She shared with us her son's struggles. He got on that TV and he gave us the real. And here she is again telling us what we've been waiting to hear about for so long from her mouth. Nothing's really, we wanted to hear from Mary's mouth what happened. Oh, yeah, and there's still more to know, but this was good. So Heather goes to Angie's, one of her franchises, to get a perm from Angie. Now, Angie was a licensed cosmetologist. She let her license lapse. I'm confused. You are in the beauty industry. You own hair salons. You've been in partnership with hair care products. How do you lose your? Why are you not paying for your license? Who wants to go to state board and take that test again? Because there's a written exam and then there's the physical where you have to demonstrate on hair. Who want the test is all day is just stressful. Stressful. Why would you, I don't care if you went into construction or you became a pilot. I would any licenses that I maintain, I'm keeping them up to date. You never know when you go cross that bridge again. You never know. So she has to do her hours again. She got to work on mannequins. So she didn't talk Heather into coming in there and practicing on her hair. She said, I'm giving you a perm today. She said she ain't done a perm in 30 years. What? So Heather's like, you said you wasn't doing nothing permanent. You gonna practice rolling my hair and that's it. Don't you put no chemicals in my hair. And Heather got some nice hair. She said she in her soft girl era. She's in a good hair era. Don't ruin my hair game, okay? So, honey, she tells Heather that Lisa's assistant came into the salon, popped up on the child, said she was there to pick up her son's products. Okay. Child, Angie Ben took that mess off her shelf. They was in her storage room collecting dust. So she packed it up, gave it to the assistant, and then Lisa Venmo'd Angie $600 and said, yeah, here's the money for the products or whatever she was paying her for. And she said, I could send my cleaners over to you too because your salon is dusty. So where does she get that from? First, I thought the assistant went back and said something, but Lisa is talking about the products. Fresh Wolf, they probably had a lot of dust on them from being in the storage room for 2 whole years. Now, Lisa, why did you even have to get off like this? Y'all made up. Why did you send an assistant over there to do your dirt? And then you're going to send her some money like you're trying to make her feel bad. Like she didn't talk about the salon. I thought y'all was friends. Ugh, Lisa, you are so insufferable. So Angie responds and says, you should have took that $600 and paid back them people that's trying to sue you. I said, I heard that, Angie. Woo, child. And she said, and my salon isn't dusty, but those products were because they've been sitting in my storage for 2 years. So then, honey, Lisa, and that was good, Angie. Angie 3, Lisa 0. Here go Lisa. Well, at least I don't have to borrow money to take vacations and use credit cards when I have no business using them. Huh? Say what now? Angie says, I don't know what she's talking about. My credit cards are in my name. So, boop, I don't know. So she said, I stopped responding after that. I left her on red, honey. So Heather tells Angie, you need to stop coming in hot with Lisa because you're going to see her again. You need to pipe down. You don't have to respond. And she doesn't. Because sometimes that is the best response, Bestie. When you leave somebody on red and they trying to talk crazy and you don't participate, yeah, you won not responding. You're the winner, okay? So we're going to take 1 point away from Angie for responding. Yeah. No, but that was a good one. You should have paid the people that's suing you. That was good, Angie. But I like that French fries franchise. Okay. So, child, Whitney and Brittany go to a nursery looking at plants, and they apologize to each other for going so low with each other. And so then comes what's the man's name? It's not Jared. Oh, gosh. So Whitney's like, explain to me what's going on. We're not engaged. Well, what are you doing? We're together. And for what? Because we're working towards another engagement. Uh-huh. So, her daughter, Brittany's daughter, I think her name is Olivia. She ain't fooling with Brittany because she feels like she puts men ahead of her. She's not giving her enough attention and all that. You remember all that drama? So she just feels like Brittany chooses her man over her kid. And Brittany feels like, well, Jared is good to me. And Whitney is trying to tell her that you need to be consistent for a little bit of time so to let your daughter know that she comes first. And Whitney was like, look at me, Brittany, put the cactus down and look at me. Choose your daughter. She comes first, grown and all. And Brittany is sitting there like, oh, wow. Yeah. But Brittany's like, well, my daughter doesn't give me time. And so Whitney's like, make the time. Your daughter comes first. And take this opportunity to do so. Do this for your daughter because this could be your last shot. Your daughter could just stop fooling with you because these kids, they don't care. Stop dating, leave Jared alone for a while, be consistent, and put that daughter first. Brittany really needed to hear this, and she looked so confused. She looked so lost. She looked so troubled. It's like, girl, this should be obvious. Your kid, are you serious? Okay, whatever. We'll see what happens next time. I hope that works for her, but Brittany is so weak. So Bronwyn is at home with her judgmental mama. Woo, When I watched this scene, I put her mama out myself 2 times, 2 different times. Let's get into it. Bronwyn knows that she will never fit into what a perfect Mormon family looks like to her mother. Her mom makes her feel ashamed about it. She's trying to explain to her mother that her and Gwen are close, they're cool. She don't want her daughter sneaking, lying, or nothing because the boyfriend lives at the house. And honey, Brown's mama would never allow that to happen. And just being Brown's mother, you would just have to look at things and say, is having a kid out of wedlock such a bad thing? It's like you could be so mad at your kid, but when the baby gets here, and it sounds like she did babysit, but she's holding it over her head. It just seems like your heart would melt and you would fall in love with your grandkid. But I don't know here. I'm not here, not with this. And it's just like, you already, Gwen is here. Her other family don't fool with her for the same reasons why you're trying not to. It's like, what gives? When does love play into the picture? When do you say religion maybe is just a little too rigid and it kind of come on now. This is not of God. And I'm going to say that as a Christian. This is not of God. All these rules and this is religion. This ain't what God wants. You sitting here doing all this. You're ruining Bronwyn's life still. In a sense, you're still giving her issues. And honey, I would have put that lady out. She would have to move out my house telling me that the way I parent doesn't work. Child Bronwyn ate her up. She said, well, did the way you parent work with me? I mean, I had a baby on you and you didn't even know I was doing it and doing it and doing it well without a protection. I was like, oh, bro, I thought her mom was going to slap her. I was like, oh, she has a point. Mama said, I didn't think I had to fact check with that because I raised you not to smoke, drink, or have premarital bump and tickle, bump and tickle, bump and tickle. And honey, Brahma said, I don't like that tough love you gave me. I'm more of a gentle love parent. And Brahma said, that tough love ain't for me. Brahma's mom wouldn't even let anyone celebrate her. Brahma tried to have a baby shower. She wouldn't let nobody be happy for her. Brown was talking about she would go shopping. She went to the Gap with her sisters who were pregnant too. And the sales lady was like, "Oh, are you're buying clothes for your granddaughter, grandbaby?" Yeah. So, but the salesperson was talking about Brahman because Brahman was pregnant. And the mom was like, "No, my other daughters, not this one." It was like, "Mom, you are awful." And that girl was pregnant. I know Brahman cried. Brahman tells her she's the reason she didn't have any more kids because, you made me feel miserable when I was pregnant with Gwen. Mom said, "Well, that ain't my fault. I was miserable trying to hide your pregnancy." Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. Hi. Yes, because Brahman's dad worked at the Mormon temple in Oakland. Shout outs to my hometown. What's up, Oaktown? And so she was embarrassed. I was like, well, it wasn't like the daddy was pregnant. Stuff happens. Goodness gracious. And Brahma was 18. It wasn't like she was 12 or 13. Maybe she got pregnant at 17. But to not support your loving daughter, oh, you are a mess. And this woman is still a mess. I said, you know what? Brain tumor or not, that woman would have to be on a flight the next morning, headed back to San Francisco. Ain't nothing wrong with her. She is cured. She is healed, honey, by the stripes of the Savior. Bye, Mom. What would she call her? Whatever it is. Bye. Now her mom is saying, "You're lucky I watched her for you." She was like, "What you talking about? You act like I was in the streets. I went to work." Well, you didn't want to put her up for adoption. You lucky I was there. She was like, "I would have worked 2 jobs to take care of my daughter." What are you talking about? Yeah. She agreed. Yeah, because you wouldn't put her up for adoption. We didn't want her to go into foster care. What? So, mom, you trying to make Brahman feel bad for wanting her daughter? Oh, yeah. You gotta go. This is the third time I'm putting her my mumsy, whatever she call her. You gotta go. Then, moms, you and them eyebrows. Get out of here, you and them eyebrows. Look at a mess. Then mom says, you're doing your best. Huh? And because I don't say you're doing so wonderful or amazing doesn't mean that I don't think you are. What? I'm careful so that you don't think you're so wonderful. Ciao. Moms, you gotta go. You gotta go. Scram. Bam. Get out. Todd, come get her. Take her to the airport. That was rough. And Brahma is still fighting to be this. She wants nothing but acceptance from this lady, and she ain't gonna give it to her. Okay, so child, Meredith and Angie hook up. Huh? Mary and Angie, they go get coffee. Angie tells Meredith about her and Lisa going backwards. Like, oh gosh. Told her about the text and the assistant coming to the salon and getting the products. She tells about that. So Meredith was like, well, can just extend some more grace. I mean, how much grace are we supposed to give Lisa? So, honey, Angie tells us, I'm here to tell Meredith that her and Lisa are not Laverne and Shirley like she think they are. So Angie tells Lisa, I'm just going to tell you, Lisa. No, Angie tells Meredith, I'm just going to tell you that Lisa came to me and asked me to do some digging on you, on your family, on your relatives. I'm like, ain't that the same thing? Dig up some bankruptcy going on with you and some shoplifting you've been doing. So, like, if you came for me, then I would have some clapback for you. Lisa, she said, Lisa's researching everyone. Meredith is sitting there like, well, I don't understand because me and Lisa are cool. We ain't funking. Why would she come for me like that? And she's like, this is disgusting. I don't believe it. So she feels like Lisa is very loyal to her And she said, hey, Angie been lying on me for 2 years. Wouldn't this might be a lie too? So she tells Angie, well, you know I'm gonna have to ask her about this. And Angie says, oh yeah, I'm fine with that. Go on ahead, child. That's what I want you to do, honey. That's what I want you to do is go ask your little foolish friend, your little fair weather friend, how she just been coming after you, honey. Boom, child. And besties, that was the end of the episode, honey. I'm gonna cut it short because we are over 40 minutes, trying to keep it under 42 or 3 minutes. So all I'm gonna say is comment, like, subscribe, notification bell, and I'll be back with another recap. It'll be Real Housewives of Orange County. Bye, besties.